About 30 years ago, there were several people talking in a home Bible study about what they saw at the train yards. Joanne remembers that story.
I was beginning to talk to a girl who was in our group. And this lady and her husband had a flooring business not far from the port property where the trains came in. And they began to observe all of these people getting out of boxcars. And they soon discovered through some source or another that these people were basically homeless.
The image of these women and children jumping out of the trains haunted Joanne and her friends. They knew they had to get involved, and so the first step for Joanne and her group was to begin to organize meals for these people.
There was a feeding ministry in Esther Short Park that families, singles, individuals were fed on Sundays. That took off and became a pretty significant gathering around the late 80s.
Bob and Joanne Kendall continue to meet with this group of people. Joanne picks up that story.
It was Shirley Radke and her husband, and they just began to pray for God to show them what they could do to help these people. And she began to discuss this with me. Ironically, about 4 years prior to that, I had been invited by a lady whose name was Mary Granger, and she invited me to be on a board because she was getting calls from mostly women, sometimes men, who said, "We don't have the basics," and wondered if you would know where we could go.
And out of that was born the first stages of the Open House Ministry.
What would happen next was planted in prayer, and then things began to move.
The mission was based completely on what Jesus taught us about helping others, and specifically in this case, finding housing.
God birthed a mission and a vision inside of Joanne's heart.
I think the motive always is a person who cares about what's happening to others who haven't been as fortunate.
Didn't take long before some more structure was needed.
You have to start from the ground up. And so we began to put together a strategy. And the strategy was, we will help you a week at a time for as long as it takes. But you'll have to take the steps. You'll have to take responsibility for your problems. And if you'll take the steps, then we'll continue to help you.
We were founded on Christ-centered values. It's the heart of who we are. It's interesting that that intersects with our culture.
Open House's real challenge in the years ahead to be faithful to a holy God in a society that is in rebellion against Him. And even if the world threatens to take it away, I believe that Open House is going to have to hold its ground and take a stand.
We're going to always have challenges in protecting our program. And like I said in the beginning, there's not many things that I'll fight for, certainly the mission vision, but I probably would also fight for our program. I just want to thank the Lord and thank Open House for letting me be a part of this part of history. It's a true privilege, and I do think it's a part of heaven.
I can say all sorts of words in gratitude, but it has really moved my heart and soul and spirit. I'd like to thank all the people who started to come clear through a 30-year span. I am just overwhelmed at the numbers of people who do things for this group called House Ministries.